today has been a very, very exciting day, and it's one I want to share with you. I am still here in the glorious Ahuriri area of Napier in New Zealand, in the North Island, and today I get to go to Skeinz Mill. Now, Skeinz is the mill that Marie Busky works at. Marie, of course, everyone will know, who organises Cannes Knit August Nights, which is the reason I'm here. Marie is also the lady with whom I've been collaborating for the Sockmatician edition Moody Hughes range of yarns, which are flying off the shelves. Thank you very much to anyone who's got some. But today I got to go to the mill, Skeinz, S-K-E-I-N-Z for New Zealand, of course, .com. Skeinz are just brilliant. They've been there since 1984 making high quality luxury end yarns, and we got a chance to go and meet all of the staff there, and for me that's wonderful because I've got an opportunity to go into the break room. I happened to be there at lunchtime, and there are loads and loads of the staff there, and many of them had a hand in putting together the Sockmatician yarn, whether that's putting the ball bands on the balls, whether it's making the balls from the cakes, whether it's whether it's the spinning, whether it's making sure that all of these, I can't remember what they're called, all the spindles and all the things keep working properly and nothing breaks, whether that's to Gerhardt, who's the man who's in charge of all the dyeing, making sure the colours were exactly what Marie and I were looking for, putting a little bit of extra twist into it. This is all the detail. The twist that Marie was putting into the yarn was because I do double knitting, and I wanted a crisp stitch definition. And even though we've got 10% possum, which, oh, it's so amazing. Skeinz is the last, I believe I'm right in saying, the last worsted spun mill in New Zealand. Most things are woolen spun. Now, any spinners among you know exactly what that means, but, well, do you know what? I'll let everything speak for itself. We met Peter, who has been working at Skeinz for, well, since it started in 1984, but he's been working in the wool trade for 53 years. This man, he really knows his stuff, and I adored him. So I'm going to hand you over now to the capable hands of Peter from Skeinz to take us on a tour of the mill where my yarn was made, and I was so thrilled.
So, historically, the textile industry, for the types of yarns that we're talking, and I'm excluding cotton on this, there are two conventional systems of processing for staple fibres of various lengths. One is woolen spun and one is worsted spun, and they are as follows. Woolen, you all heard of both these descriptions, haven't you?
Yep.
Woolen, can I tell you, has two L's, not one, like lots of people spell it. So the first thing is, they blend. Blending, have you been through the mill, you guys?
Not yet.
Okay, well, Marie can take it or I can take it. I'll get more technical than Marie, I imagine. Then we card, that's a carding machine. We card it, which you'll see, a big machine. And then they spin it. Then we gill it. What's it doing? 2 to 4 times. 2 to 4 times. Then we comb it, removing the knowle, which again you'll see. That can be 1 or 2 times. Then we post-comb gill it, anywhere 3 to 4 times. Then we rove it if it's below a certain count, and that's it, once. So they go 3. They end up with a yarn under a microscope that looks like that. Multi-directional fibre yarn. Multi-directional fibre yarn. So it's a short fibre process, and it intermingles all those fibres together. We are the opposite. There's your worsted. Long, much longer fibres, smooth yarn. And that's created by all these machines in here. So they have 3 processes. Pretty damn quick to get a yarn from fibre, and we go 1, 2. Let's go the most 6, 8, 12, 13, 12 to 13 processes. So this is a much more engineered yarn, is the way I say it, or we say it, than say something like that. The last description is the worsted makes that typical worsted suiting fabric, smooth. You can see the weave or stitch definition. That makes what you describe as a tweed.
You see more of a sheen on the worsted as well,
yeah,
because of the lights all come the same direction.
Yeah, because exactly. And there's your tweed, is a typical example. I've got some woolen spun on here actually. You just take that, never test a yarn. No. Lots of people, I give people yarn to test and what's its strength like, and they go like this.
Break the fibres.
I said, no, you don't do that. You've got to go to here and just test it and pull it and break it and then pass it on. Pull it and break it. Right, you felt now pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it.
So you feel it stretch, don't you,
Yes.
before you feel it give?
Yeah, but it just slides apart is the answer. Now compare it with that one. Go on, take that away. Break that one with your fingers apart. Go on, keep going. Go on, keep going. Go, 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 go. Don't be scared.
Oh, well done.
Don't be shy. You see the difference? You
Yeah.
feel the difference? So this slides apart.
Wow.
And that snaps.
Yeah,
And
it
that's
does.
the
You hear it
difference.
snap, don't you?
And that, people, is basically exactly the answer. Gill
Gilling.
process, it could be called drawing or gilling. It's essentially a lot of this part of the trade. It's as simple as jumping in the shower, getting out of the shower. What do? You put a comb through your hair. What happens to your hair? It follows the comb. It aligns all the fibres in the same direction. And that's what we do commercially, and I'll show you downstairs, or Marie will, exactly what happens. And that is a process where we put sliver. It's the first stage of a carded fibre, prior to which it was just a bunch of fibres, mixed fibres. That starts to align the fibres. So we then take them through those various processes, refining the sliver and making it finer and finer. Again, which will be explained downstairs to you.
So already you can see that he's fascinating, and I loved everything he had to tell me. Sunset is just absolutely mad. Anyway, I just wanted to warn you now, the sound quality is not going to be the best in there because there's a lot of noise in the mill, but I'll do my best to tweak it as we go along. But if you can just pick out what's being said amongst the noise of the machines, it's still a fascinating process.
Yarn! 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 Smells nice in here. It smells like warm sheep, generally.
That's the sliver can, and guess what, Sam? You nearly canned it. So, come on in. Come on in. So, I wrote that sequence of processes upstairs, and you saw it blending. So, this is blending. And this is where you mix the fibres together. If you're mixing mohair with wool or alpaca or possum or whatever, or different wools together, this is where we mix it straight from the scour, mostly. So it's been scoured, so it's clean of grease, less than 0.1% of residual grease, otherwise it will not run. And it opens it on this machine in the most gentle form, and we moisturise it and we lubricate it. So we put about 5% moisture on, we put about 0.5% of vegetable mineral oil to combat the static, because these slivers are going across metal plates pretty fast. And I tell you now, in my life, you could stand here in the summertime and go like that. And this spark, this electricity, and you're the earth, bang. And yeah, when I was a kid, you knew it was going to spark, and you just stand there and you go, and you get the zap. So come and have a look and tell me what these fibres are. Come down in, come on. Just feel, you've got to feel it. Just rub it between your fingers. So I'll tell you what those three are. That's simple. You know what that one is, don't you?
Merino.
Merino. What micron is it?
About 20.
Now you're getting hard. Now it's getting hard.
About 20 to 25.
It's 18. So that's 32 micron. So that's 18. So that's just slightly higher than half the thickness of that.
And is that still merino at the end?
No. Merino cuts out at 24 micron. So that's a crossbred. That's 28 micron a half bred. That's 18 micron a merino. Now, do you know what a micron is? The measure? Do you know what the measure is?
Thousandth of a millimetre?
Millimetres to the power of 1,000. Yeah, millimetres to the power of 1,000. So what's that one?
Alpaca.
No.
No.
Have you ever seen a shiny alpaca?
Is that what?
A Surrey. I have. A Surrey is a shiny.
Well, yeah, just shiny, but not as shiny
No,
as
they're not like that,
as
yeah.
shiny as mohair. That's the Angora goat. you always tell alpaca instantly, because rub it between your finger and thumbs like I'm doing. It's got an oily, greasy feeling.
That's true,
And that's
yeah.
alpaca.
Even though it's not.
You do the same with that, and it's got no greasy. And that, of course, if you put the twist on it, the shine arrives.
Right.
See? That's the difference. And this baby is obvious.
That's the silk. Yeah, yeah.
No, it's not. It's tencel.
Is it?
No, it's silk.
Sheet.
So that's the silk. The only one we haven't got here is possum, but it doesn't matter.
Can you spin possum on its own? Do you
No.
have You just sort of
Hell no.
You can comb it like
The
this.
woolen spinner, maximum they do with the free process is 40%.
Right.
Then we go down to 30. We spin the most we do is a 30%. It's a challenge.
Right.
You have what's called fibre separation because the possum is there and the merino's there. And the more you put into those gilling machines I mentioned, the more times you process it. The short fibres want to go back together and the long fibres want to go back
Oh, they
together.
find each other.
So you've got to get... The Irishman, who I hope we'll see and I'll introduce you to him, the Brave, he analogizes it as pack of cards. Pack of cards are open, all the kings are together.
Yeah.
You put all the kings together, all the queens together, you shuffle it. Well, after you've shuffled it, like we shuffle with that, by the time we get back to it going on the spinning frame, it's gone back to being... That's his answer. So, in here, moisturise. We're opening it gently. Always, we aim for no fibre breakage. It just defeats the object. How does this machine do it? Is it like teeth that just gently pull apart? Exactly. There's a hopper. There's the lattice, just moves it forward.
Yeah.
There's the pin sheet. You see the pins on it? See the rake at the top? It's the rake. That rake, it's a shame it's not going. That rake is going like that. That rake is going like that. It's about that speed.
So the pin sheet is just to travel it up to the
Pin sheet, the pin sheet carries it up and the rake is does the opening against the pin. It's just like the hand spinners start to make the roller, which is like Taro. That's the answer. Alright? How much? So let me explain about the yield. It's a non-comb yarn, which we do a lot of. I call that modified worsted, like this. Modified worsted. So it hasn't had any oil taken out of it or VM taken out. It's 32, 34 micron in field. If it's that, it has a yield of 89%. So for every 1,000 kilo to put in, you get 890 kilos out. We hope.
Some of it just goes into the air.
No, well, yeah, it's called fly. Yeah, you're right. I'll show you something. I'll show you in the spinning room. It's called fly. It's a progressive loss. In fact, you're going to get the deluxe tour? Follow me.
Yes. Deluxe tour this way.
Saudi wool.
Yeah, it's suddenly come a bit thick with fibre.
This is the first cleaning point. Wow. The last blend we did was a brown alpaca. Look at the BM. Flat. That's the fat we get out of the fly. That's the first loss factor. It's a comb yarn. It's a comb yarn and it's 82%. Right, so 180 kilos, $1,000. It's all part of the wash process. Ollie! Come on down. Come on in. This is the prime fixed spinning frame. When I say that, it's got a very small ring. Can you see what's happening? You can't really there. I'll show you in the big frame. So what's happening is this is the roving. So it's a sliver with some twist to allow it to carry it from there through to there. There's the back drafting roller, there's the front drafting roller. See the difference? Slow, fast.
Yeah.
So that is called grafting. Drawing it out without breaking it. The aprons assist that drawing. The spindle spinning puts twist in the sliver from there to there on the yarn. Simple as that.
Wow. about combing your hair?
Ah, yeah.
That's it, called a baller. Right, this is Ian Kelly. Hello, Ian. Let me tell you something. Gather round, gather round.
Wow. So this is the carding machine. So this is a machine that converts it from that into a sliver, which is right behind you. A sliver looking like that. The back of the goats. See the shine in it now? It's got some wool in it.
Yeah.
So it gets blended and dropped into these bins. Now, we're going to have some fun.
Brown alpaca. Just disappeared. You know? Oh, look at me. So many things. Your turn. I want to go. Your turn. Are you going together? Should we hold hands? Ready? I'm scared. Let me get out of the way. Right, that way. That way. 3, 2, 1, go. Is that good fun or what? Got it? Hold on, stay here. I'll give you mine. I've got to make sure I don't get any contamination, so I'll just have to. Oh. Sorry. Sorry, Sam. I didn't lost anyone.
Ridiculous. Vegetable matter. The oil is the short fibre, and the vegetable matter, of course, is vegetable matter. If you left that in, that's the pills in it, and that's the waste product. Again, another loss factor. How much oil will come out of that? Say 20 by 1 litre. Probably 7 or 8, you say? So from here,
that should be the correct weight, so you transfer it from here to that spinning frame, you set the counter with the speeds and everything, it gets the counter you want. Now, spinning. This is muscle spinning, not woman spinning. It all happens here. It all happens here, that's what the lady said before. If you ain't got it right here, you've got it wrong. And we never have anything go wrong. So as long as you control it, and you know that, like the bolt there, there's one sliver there that's light, so a sliver's dropped out, in operate you've got to go back and find the last time when it dropped out, remove all that, and then put the good sliver back in. So that's it, it's here where it counts. So there's the next sliver in a row. And this is a very similar spinning frame, obviously, to when we first saw the fine pitch. Except look at the size of the ring on this. Huge. So the same thing again as I said at the start. Slow, fast, drawing, aprons control the major grafting zone, sliver comes out here, twist goes in the yarn from the pigtail up to there, there's the spun yarn. Every yarn is continuous. If one breaks, we'll go and ask Karen. Oh no! Yarn break. Stop the spindle. And you see that thing there? That's called a traveller. It spins twice travelling around the ring. It guides the yarn on. Now see what Karen's doing? Got it in the traveller. Up to here. Down there. That's it. Go on, go. Start twisting. Picks up the sliver, twists it around stuff. That's called a peacening. You haven't seen that before? No. So there's no knots. You have. Okay?
Magic. I think that's like magic.
This is Evelyn. This is just doffing. See? Full tube off, empty tube on. It's called doffing. Another term that comes from the textile trade when somebody doffs his hat. Yeah. That's a textile trade. Right. Comment. Yeah. Thank you, Eric. I started in 1975, nobody had a consideration of this or this. No. So I used to work in a dye house when I was 15 and 16, and you go and blow your nose, and it was red.
Yeah.
Then in the afternoon you go blow your nose again, it turned blue.
Whichever colour you've just been working with.
Exactly. As I said, it all happens in there essentially. After that, twisting, I didn't show you twisting, that's obvious. After twisting, I'm going to say probably 70% of what we produce is dyed, and it's dyed on jumbo hanks. So here we are. There's a jumbo hank, so there's a kilo hank.
Wow.
That goes into the dye machine, and you'll see it. This is a 4-ply, 3-fold.
Oh, perfect.
So you've got to be careful when some people say, oh, I want a 4-ply. I said, you really want a 4-ply? Do you want a yarn with 4 ends in it? It's not a 4-ply. And they go, what?
Yeah.
You got to be very careful because we've been caught out.
That's a new terminology to me today. I didn't know about folds. Yeah,
Oh,
I've always thought. I've often wondered why some things are called an 8-ply when actually there might be 12 strands in it, something like that.
Well, our orb is 12 strands. It's a twist on twist, and it's a 6-fold, 2-fold. So it's 12 ends in it, and it's made intentionally so it creates that.
So 6-fold, 2-fold is you apply 2 together, and then 6 of those get twisted together.
Yeah. Well done. That's exactly right. And we've got the dye house.
Hot in here. Ooh, it's warm in here. Woo! Woohoo!
You would want to be here in the summer.
The place where everybody in the mill wants to work in winter and nobody wants to work in summer. Because it's summer. And by the way, we work in a dye house. It's a high humidity atmosphere. It's lovely for my skin. It's lovely for everybody's skin, isn't it? It's high moisture. Okay, so that's the boiler. We have 2 boilers, and then let's go in the dye house. We dry everything naturally. It gets hanged or hung. Hanged is this, isn't it? So it gets hung in here, and this has only gone in this morning. These have only gone in this morning because they were kept in the machine to show all the visitors on Saturday. So that's why they're still damp. It takes from probably 10 this morning till by the time Gerhard and the boys come in tomorrow morning, they'll be dry.
And of course it helps because you've got the boiler right here.
Yeah, of course. Well, we have this.
We've got vents as well.
And we have a heater under there as well,
right,
for winter time when it's not as good. So we have sample vats. We conduct 4 types of dyeing. We used to conduct 5 types of dyeing. So we are the incredibly versatile mill. Because we used to loose stock dye, top dye, hang dye, package dye, and spray dye. We've got rid of the top dyeing now. We don't need it. So we do 4 types. We do hang dyeing, we do loose stock, which is where, in instance, we might dye some black, take it to the blending, and blend it with 30% of white to make a charcoal, like you're wearing, things like that. So most of what we do is hang dye. We do package dyeing on some weaving yarns, which is dyeing on a comb, and then we spray dye for the fancies, like the Sockmatician yarn. Like the Nathanatician yarn. I got a customer and a mate to play golf with down in Levin, and he's been in the sock industry all his life, makes socks. He calls himself a sockologist.
Brilliant.
So, 9 kilos, 6 kilos, sample vat, hydro, don't want to bother with the hydro, 24 kilos, 10 kilos. Then we get to the high production, or higher, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 250 kilos. So ask me how much times we dye 250 kilos.
How often do you dye 250 kilos?
Not very often, except for one colour. What's the biggest selling colour in baby yarns?
Pink.
Optical white. Optical white is 5 to 1. Always has been, always will be.
Not even just the natural undyed colour, you have to dye it white.
We have to bleach it. We don't like bleaching because bleaching is a very harsh process. It uses hydrox, peroxide and other things. So dyeing, this is where I started in the 60s, in a dye house, not here, in a dye house in Yorkshire, and I was a colour matcher. And there are 3 things for dyeing, aren't there? 3 KPIs, key point indicators. Got the right colour, can't be streaky, can't fall off when it meets the light, or the hands. You think that'd be easy? No. This is, in my opinion, the hardest part. Because when you're hack dyeing, or package dyeing, you only get 1 shot. It's right or it's wrong. You can try and fix it if it goes too dark. You're going to have to strip it with acids. And we don't like doing that. That damages the fibre. If it's too light, the dyeer's skill allows him to say, well, it's a bit red, so we'll just put a bit more yellow and blue on it just to kill that red. And he's got to determine how much. That is the skill of a dyer, really. It's like cooking. It's a recipe. If you follow the recipe, it should always come out right. So because of the oil we put on in the blending, every single yarn that we dye gets scoured off. Scoured off, you could call it washed with detergent. We use 1% of an industrial detergent, we raise it to 50 degrees, we hold it for 30 minutes, we drop it. Then we refill, ready to start dyeing. We introduce the Globus salts, which is a retarding agent, you might call it, to stop the dye going woof. So we put Globus salt in, we put the levelling agents, and lastly we put acetic acid for most of the dyes, and that is the last assister or element to affix the dye molecule to the wool molecule. Because dyeing, have you seen a wool fibre under a microscope in dyes? It's like a Christmas tree with jagged edges. So what the dye does, what the agents do, what the levelling agents do, and the sodium acetate or whichever chemical you're using, that reacts with the fibre to open the molecules of the fibre, the scales of the fibre, to allow the molecules of the dye, which are now in solution, to go totally inside the fibre. So when you cold a bunch and you cut it, it's the same colour all the way through. Two things I saw within the first 2 weeks of working. The first one was, what are we doing now? This man said, hi lad, we're doing black today, and it was a Friday. What do you know, what do you understand Black Friday? You've heard this before. What do you understand Black Friday to be? When I was a kid in the 60s, Black Friday is the day when a dyer covers up all his mistakes. Don't laugh because it's true. It's a fact.
You just over-dye with black and it fixes everything.
You can't go any darker than black. Problem, if you over-dye a red with the black, it looks horrible because you can see the red coming through. It's a very strong colour. We use a green-black. Blues and greens tones are the most favourable for most people's tones.
Yes.
Okay? Something goes on the yellow side and you won't put it on, you're going to look like you're sick, anemic. So there you go. So I'll show you a random dye. This is Gerhard. These people from England and Australia.
We're all friends, we met upstairs.
I'm just coming to find this. So this came out of this machine. This machine has been very good to us. This is where your Sockmatician came through.
Ah!
So this was pre-bleached because you can't bleach. Bleaching is a 2-day process. So you firstly go to a first stage bleach and then you drop that, wash it off and refill it again. And it takes probably 12, 14 hours to conclude and finish a full optical bleach. It's got that optical brightener on it and it's been bleached to the bright white.
Is it called optical because it literally means to the eye it looks white?
No, it's called optical because, follow me, you're younger than me. Do you remember those discos we used to have? See the ultraviolet?
Yeah.
Have you ever, you've all seen it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being a teenager in nightclubs in Halifax, you know, wearing my white shirt and we all were, and you'd had a few pints and you're going like that and dancing, and everyone gets dizzy because all you're seeing, is this crazy, there you go,
Can you see?
crazy violet colour. And in the trade we call this, when somebody says, is it light fast? And I say, yes, it's fast to midnight. And they go, what do you mean? I said, well, think about it. It will never lose its colour if you only wear it at night.
So with the monochrome dyeing that the Sockmatician yarn is, that's just, am I right in thinking that's different concentrations of the same colour going through the jets?
That's what a monochrome is. There's the recipe, that's the shavy one. Okay, we'll go 25% pale and 25% lighter. Right. Pale, darker, that's the way. You got me?
Yeah. And so how many jets are there in the tunnel? How does it work? 36, wow.
Oh, probably 38 to 40 now because we've added somewhat more. And the colour coded, and so the patterning can be is positively infinitely variable because you can do anything you want to a point. There's the jets. So you can shift them here, shift them there, put them together, do whatever.
Oh, you can move them laterally as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And how many colours might you? How many different tones could you do in one pass?
4 colours.
From those.
4 colours. Yeah.
And you can combine those in one pass through.
Yeah.
So when you said there were 4 tanks, I was assuming it would be you'd do one colour, pass it through, another.
All here.
You could all mix it.
It's a one-stop process. I'm going to tell you that probably 90% of the colours that we dye are trichromes with a blue, a yellow, and a red, and the combinations. So I didn't show you. I could have showed you the recipe.
So there's no green dye. It's just yellows and blues.
You can buy green dye, very blue-green dye. You buy navy. You can buy a grey. It's better to buy a grey than try and make a grey from a liquid black, which is what we all use, a liquid black, and something to make it slightly different. although most are trichromes. Yeah. If it's a purple, no, it's 2. It's a red and a blue. You know, and all that. Things that we did at school.
But you want to change the hue of it slightly. You'd need the third tint to a certain level.
Absolutely, and that again is the skill of the dyer. Yeah.
Look at all these sample cards. These are amazing.
We need to tighten. These are. Oh, look at me.
Did someone jump into an alpaca bar?
Is there a doctor? No, this
is
the
Noil.
This is the Noil. Is there a doctor in the house?
Well, you cracked me up because you blew off all your alpaca only to crawl down in front of the. I know.
I don't think I get a job here.
Look at that. She's got a job.
Sockmatician sister, a natural.
Thank you, Robin. And that's it. End of story.
I can't thank you enough. That was genuinely one of the most fascinating trips through any factory I can possibly imagine. And I feel, thanks to this lady here, Marie Busky, I feel I have a real personal connection with this place now because some of it has come through and it's added to my life story, and it's really fascinating for me to see how it's all come together, because we've been working with this on the opposite sides of the world, and I've been sending off emails and not getting the names of the yarns in time and getting everything, slowing everything up, but putting my input in. Marie's been putting her input in to steer my input, which has really helped enormously, but then of course hands it over to people like you and Gerhard and Robin and everybody else who's got any part of this process. It's a big team making one product.
Because I mean,
you don't see that otherwise.
When we had our initial conversation around not doing solid colours but doing something different, you know, I had all that written down, and that was the first port of call with you on a Monday morning, wasn't it? It's like,
Can we
okay,
do
I
this?
understand this, but can we actually do it? You know, I think we can in theory, but in practicality, is it going to do it? Because as you can see, it's a big process.
It's a big process, and what was fascinating to me is what we were talking about earlier, that the spinning is only a tiny little bit. You think that spinning is the whole thing. It's really not. It's all about preparing and then processing what's been spun as well, isn't it? Because how many different processes and machines does it go through after it's been spun? It gets into the cakes, and then from the cakes...
And I don't know whether Peter said this, if you don't get it right at preparing,
you're done.
Silk versus housing.
And rubbish in, rubbish out.
Rubbish out. And to see any operation, no matter what industry it is, to see it working and see how they do whatever they do, it all becomes more clear.
And also, it opens my eyes to things like the dyeing process. It's not just about a dash of this colour, a few speckles of that colour. You've got all the different chemical processes for the reasons that you say, about opening up the scales and allowing things in, making sure that the incremental temperatures rather
Come on, David, don't be shy.
Come on in. The incremental temperatures, so you're not going to shock, because of course that's going to felt the yarn and things like that. So you don't really think about that. You just go, oh, it's lovely to knit with. But thank you, because it makes you appreciate the yarn a lot more.
Of course. Well, hey, it's in my blood, in my life.
It's because you breathe it in every day.
We love it. The Irishman's been in it now 62 years. I've been in it 53 years. Wow, long time, isn't it?
You pick up stuff along the way. I hope you found that interesting. It was amazing for me to be around someone like Peter, who clearly I found it fascinating, but he loves his craft. He knows so much, and he's really, really exuberant and enthusiastic, and his enthusiasm really inspires and has enthused me about the whole process as well. So I've learnt a lot today. I didn't know what slivers were, I didn't know what the difference between a sliver and a roving was, I didn't know what Noil was, but now I know all of these things, and I feel enriched as a result. So thank you, Peter, thank you for giving us your time, and thank you for Marie as well, and all the team at Skeinz. It's been a very exciting process for me to watch all of that, and I do feel I've got a very personal connection to it, because of course that's the process that the Sockmatician edition Moody Hughes yarn has gone through. I couldn't have had a lovelier time here in Napier. It's been absolutely wonderful. Everyone has been so welcoming, so friendly, and just so generous with their time and with their love. Thank you, Napier. Onwards down to the South Island tomorrow morning. More on that when I arrive.